Well, we got the awning all mounted up and taken care of on this overlander from my brother-in-law. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fix the sag that's in the back of it, because he's got so much batteries and generators and weight back here that the thing is sagging. So we're going to put that air suspension underneath the back of it. Like most things today that you order, there's some assembly required. So the first thing you have to do is take all these various pieces and put them together per the instructions on the box. All right, so got it jacked up. Got a couple of jack stands under it just because the thing doesn't have a lot of ground clearance and I don't want it falling on me. It's actually pretty simple. Supposed to be bump stops right there, but it's gone on this side. You can see it over there on that side, that big old rubber block right there. It's obviously missing over here, but that's where these are going to go. They're going to go up on the frame and pinch the frame and come down here and sit right on top of that axle and give us the ability to, and bump stops don't exist, so we'll be cutting that one over there. We'll cut that one over on that side off or tear it out, and we'll figure out how to, I'm gonna have to grind this one off. I've had these on other cars, trucks, and what you got is you basically got an airbag, real heavy duty rubber that airs up using this fitting and a airline. This just pinches to the frame like we talked about, so it doesn't come off. And then this little saddle sits on the axle with a U-bolt. So here I was cutting the bump stop mount off of the frame so that these airbags can set flush along the frame and they won't be compromised. And generally I like to do this one side at a time. So I jack up one side of the van, leave the other side of the van on the ground or the truck, and then work on one side, get it in, and then move to the other side. It gives you more clearance and it's not just hanging in the air. Somewhere right in here, my memory card got full and the camera stopped recording, so we're jumping ahead here and the little metal bracket's been removed off. Here I'm just taking a scraper and I'm getting that coating off of it. It's probably a 1/4 inch thick on both sides, so I know it won't fit up over that frame without being in a bind. I don't want that. I'm just trying to get this positioned properly here between the axle and the frame. Obviously the top bolts just pinch into that frame and hold this on, and then the bottom saddle holds it across the axle. But you notice that different on every truck, but this one has that, I guess it's a bump stop or whatever that bracket is. It's there. It's really close to the bottom, but it's not going anywhere. So I think everything's going to work. I've got to get it twisted around where everything's not in a bind and pull it back out. Okay, now that I've got it all set up under there where I know it works, I got to tighten these up, because basically you make sure the axle lines up here and the frame lines up down here, right with that one, and they're where they need to be. You can twist this while these are loose. I've got to tighten all these up before I put it back in there to finally be tightened up. So that's what I'm going to do right now, then we'll put it back up under there. This is just the final fitting. Now that I've got it all tightened up as it should be, I can put it back up in there and then get it centered and tighten up these top bolts, which the exhaust on this side makes it kind of a tight fit, but tighten up the top bolts, put the U-bolt on the bottom. So on the top bolts are a bolt with a lock nut that screws down and tightens against the frame so it can't come out. The bottom ones are a nylon lock nut so it won't back off. You just get them as tight as you can. I mean, you're basically crushing the frame if you go too tight on the top, and you, I guess, could strip out the bolt on the bottom if you got too tight there. Now this kit comes with a really long U-bolt. which makes it impossible to get any kind of a ratchet or even a flat ratchet up on it. So you're basically tightening it up a half spin with an open end wrench every time on both sides, and just tighten it up evenly so it pulls up evenly on both sides. If you did it too far on one side, it would probably actually hit the bottom of that mount. So anyway, just something to watch for. And once all this is tightened down, it's good to go. But believe it or not, I don't really work this fast. I've sped this up 4 or 5 times. And what you saw, I pulled out the one remaining bump stop with just a pry bar. And then to get this bump stop mount out, use a hacksaw or a grinder, a little Dremel tool, whatever you have to take, chisel, shears. And this one actually worked really well with the just a hacksaw on a reciprocating saw. Was able to get it off there really nice. Didn't have the exhaust in the way. This side was a lot cleaner than the other side. Well, you can tell the sun's starting to set here in Houston, so the lights are brighter. They're also smoking because of all the crap I'm cutting off this this framework. It's that real thick anti-corrosion coating that's falling into the light and making it smoke. But anyway, make short work of this. Try to make sure I didn't cut any wires. It made short work of this side, and then it's just a matter of doing the same thing and getting the scraper and taking off that coating so I can fit that airbag up around that frame. This one up under there is pretty much the exact same as the other side, so I'll spare you that, but you can see how close this is from that bracket to the bottom of that, but there's no movement between the two. Once this is mounted, it's pretty solid. Well, it's day 3 of working on the van project, getting ready to go back to Costa Rica. Yesterday we got all the airbags stuck up underneath there, cut off the bump stops and mounted the airbags up underneath the rear end of the van. And today I'm going to be just routing the airline. Now, one of the things that's different about this than any other one I've ever done is the air system has two nozzles, so I'm gonna have to figure out where I can run those airlines to, because they don't give you that much line. So routing these airlines is really simple. They're just kind of plug and play. They snap right in. There's nothing to threaded, no nuts or anything. It's kind of that new quick disconnect that you see on most airlines, or even your ice maker, your refrigerator. What I ended up doing was running each end and then pulling it along the different parts of the frame, trying to figure out where I could mount it. Ended up just being right above the receiver hitch on the back of it was the best place to go, where I had the most length and I thought was the most convenient. So that's what I'm doing here, just getting everything mounted up. So the kit came with 2 self-tapping screws, and which is kind of nice, except one of them broke off right when I was threading this in to hold this on, so I had to go find another screw. So anyway, they weren't the best quality. So once the routing was completed from the airbags to the back of the van here, it really was just a matter of zip tying these wires all up and taking any sharp edges. Like what I'm doing here is taking a piece of old vacuum tube and zip tying it around the line so it doesn't wear on that sharp edge on the back side of this van. So that's kind of important. Just make sure it's all tied up and it can't hang on anything, and you should be good to go. Of course, the final part is to get the van back down off the jack stands and then put some air pressure to it, check for leaks, and then do a little testing, driving, and just seeing which air pressure works the best. So here you can see I air it up, and you'll see the van come up a good 2 inches when I put just 20 pounds on it. And then I get it up to 30, and it's probably pretty stiff and still higher. But as he adds weight, he should be able to air these up to, I think max is 200 psi, I think is what it said on the package, but he's not going to go anywhere near that. Probably 30, 40 pounds is the max he'll ever go. So anyway, that's that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like what you see, just hit the like button and subscribe to the videos, and we'll be posting some more things here on the channel. Thanks for watching. I hope you like it. Hope everybody out there has a Merry Christmas, and thanks again for watching.